So getting selected for the scholarship is one thing, but then finding a university in Japan that suits you is another. So he was kind of skeptical about me at first, but he warmed up to me, and after he warmed up to me, he comes to me and starts rubbing my.
Hi SUGEE people, welcome back to SUGEE Podcast. I'm Christy, your host for today, and today on our show we will have a special guest, Miss Ogbonna Sochi, a Nigerian who is doing a research project in Osaka University. Today, Sochi will join me in this podcast by sharing her insight, view, and experiences in doing a research project in Japan. So, stay tuned guys!
Welcome back to SUGEE Podcast.
SUGEE Podcast Episode 4 Ogbonna Sochi on doing a research project in Japan.
Hello Sochi, thank you for joining me today in SUGEE Podcast.
Hi!
SUGEE people, today we will have insightful talks with Miss Sochi regarding her research in Osaka University, Japan. Okay, let's start. Could you tell me about yourself, Sochi-san?
Okay,
Hi,
I am Sochi. I am a young lady from Nigeria. I have lived in Japan for a little over 2 years now. I am at the moment pursuing my master's degree in a field related to biomedical engineering.
Whoa.
I do actually speak some Japanese. At least I am understood when I go do my grocery shopping, so that's a nice thing. I don't have the stress of people not understanding me, so it's good. I can also read and write Japanese. I have this strange urge to go skydiving.
Wow.
I really want to, but I've not been brave enough to do that just yet. But hopefully, in the near future, I will skydive.
Wow, skydiving guys, very cool, super cool. Okay, let's talk about skydiving later. Okay, why you choose Japan to continue your study and do your research project here, Sochi-san?
Okay, I have always loved Japan. I love the culture, I love the language, I love anime a lot. So I just overall felt connected to Japan. Plus, I've had some few family connections. I've had members of my family involved and visiting Japan, so maybe there was some influence there. But, well, I felt connected to Japan and it's stuck in my head that it's a place where I could study, so I came and I am glad I did.
Whoa, so it's really interesting for us to know like how can a foreign national get accepted in the Japanese university. So could you explain the procedure for the foreign students to enter the Japanese university or Osaka University to be exact? Do you have any tips and tricks? If you have any, could you share to us?
Okay, I was chosen for the Japanese government scholarship. It's called the Momogakushan or the MEC scholarship. Yeah, it's very popular. So the Japanese government offers scholarship to any Japanese university you want to go to that are right for your studies, from people from different countries if you have diplomatic relationship with them. So obviously there are like screening exams and procedures before you get selected for the scholarship. So getting selected for the scholarship is one thing, but then finding a university in Japan that suits you is another thing. So you have to look for the university of your choice and a professor willing to supervise you in that university. So you have to write to the professor and convince the professor why you want him to supervise you and why you chose the research topic. But if you're passionate about your research, that wouldn't be a problem. So it's a very wonderful opportunity for foreigners in Japan. So if you're interested in studying in Japan, just check out the website of the Japanese embassy of your country and look for MEC scholarship and apply for it.
Oh, Well, how many person that got accepted by Momogakushan scholarship in your terms?
In Nigeria,
Yeah,
the
in Nigeria.
quota is low. We have 7
Ah.
per year every year, but most other countries like I heard Philippines had 20. I heard US also had like 10. So depending on the country, the quota is different. But yeah, you could be up to 30. You could be 10. You could be 1, depending on how big your country is. And so.
Because on my country before, actually I also tried to, but I failed. Yeah, it's only accepted like 15.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, for Indonesia, but that's not a lot because 250 million population, yeah, compared to 15. Wow.
Wow.
So the competition is really harsh and wow. So that means Sochi-san here already like passed the competition already.
No.
Really cool.
Thank you so much.
Get people from Nigeria. Yay.
Thank you.
Representative. Okay. And then, do you have any interesting stories during your stay in Japan as a Nigerian?
Interesting stories.
Or unique or strange or what? I don't know.
I think I've had lots of experiences, but okay, I'll share one. There was a kid I had an encounter with summer last year. It was summer. He was the son of a friend's friend, and he was about 6 or 7 years old. So I, being from Nigeria, I am dark skinned, obviously. So, but in Japan, people don't usually see dark skinned people. So to the kid, I was strange. So he was kind of skeptical about me at first. But he warmed up to me, and after he warmed up to me, he comes to me and starts rubbing my skin to see if the dark color comes off. So he keeps rubbing and checking his hands, and he sees that the black is actually permanent. So he asks me, I thought you painted yourself all over, but it seems it's permanent. Why is so black? Why so dark? And of course, I really didn't know how to explain to the kid. Different people from different countries look different, and I had to explain in Japanese. So what I told him was that I ate so much chocolate growing up, so the color kind of stuck on my face. So he shouldn't eat so much chocolate. That was what I told him. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was really innocent. Yeah. I really would never forget him.
Yeah. Yeah, because Japan is really homogenistic country, I think.
Yeah.
They never see someone who looks different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even in my experience also, when I go somewhere with my husband and in that time I'm wearing my hijab and some kids come to me and look really strange and like I'm like, what? Something like that. And his mother comes and like, no, don't disturb Onesa. I'm like, what? And, yeah, they are like seeing the really foreigners like really strange look because they didn't find this diversity in their country maybe. And yeah, in my opinion, it's like that.
But I feel the number of foreigners are actually increasing day by day, not like before, like so. Probably in the future, we would be almost normal. We wouldn't be stared at. Probably.
My nephew always like making comments on me like, why are you wearing ninja? Why are you wearing ninja outfit? I'm like, this is not ninja. Okay, then I become ninja. If I want to become ninja, something like that. So we have like really interesting, but this is not in the negative things for me. I mean, like they are just kids, they are innocent, and this only show that they are grow up in really homogenistic environment, so they are just curious to get people. So don't be afraid to come to Japan.
No, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. And so Chisa, what are the biggest differences between studying in Japan compared to Nigeria?
The biggest difference, I think, it's the availability of technology, infrastructure, and resources for your studies and experiments. Because in Nigeria, the system is more of thought-based. They just tell you on the whiteboard, this is this, believe it. But in Japan, it's more of like seeing is believing. So they show you why it's there and they have everything to show you. So that's the biggest difference. And I feel it's a plus to have more of an experimental environment than a thought-based environment. Yeah.
You mean the biggest difference is the education system maybe, or the way the teacher teach on the class, or more like teaching cultures?
More like for us, let's say you want to perform an experiment. Maybe we really don't have the resources to perform an experiment. So the teacher just tells you, if you mix compound A and compound B, what comes out is compound C. Just believe it. But if it is in Japan, when they teach you compound A mixed with compound B, they will actually bring the compound A, bring the compound B, mix it right in front of you and show you compound C. So that's the difference.
So that is the meaning of seeing and believing. So
Yes.
they just like do the experiment, and so the student can understand by seeing directly by themselves.
Yeah.
And then then let's move to another question. What is the biggest challenge you have experienced in your research, and how did you overcome them?
Aside from the fact that classes are taught in Japanese, it boils back to the previous question. So when I came to Japan, the resources and technology are available. That's good. But for me, I have never seen them before. Most of the things are very, very new to me. So it was very difficult for me to adapt. My professor was really nice, and some of my lab mates were also nice to tell me how this machine works and what compound is what. But of course, they have their research, so I can't keep bothering them all the time. So it took me at least 6 months to figure out how to operate most of the machines in my lab. I'm still figuring out some of the machines in the lab. So I think that's the biggest challenge I've experienced.
The differences of technology.
Yes, the difference of technology.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, not only Nigeria also, but my country also finding this kind of things.
Yeah.
Some of my friends also have the same experience with such a sound, but yeah, you guys can overcome it. Like,
Yes, you can.
like,
Just keep practicing and practicing, and you will get it. And everybody here is very nice. So if you tell them, okay, I didn't understand, please explain it for me again, they would. So yeah, don't be scared. You will be able to overcome it.
So your study is using English, the program? English program or Japanese?
Unfortunately, it's in Japanese, so that's
Oh
the
my
biggest
God.
challenge. Yes, the classes are in Japanese, but the professors are really nice. So as an international student, they allow you to do the homeworks in English. Some professors are very nice. They actually write the assignments in English for us and send it to the international student. But the classes are in Japanese, so we have to use a lot of Google Translate.
So SUGEE people should research first. Yeah, I think before if you want to study in Japan, I think you should find out like do the university you want to go provide the programs in English or not, something like that, because it will really affect your capability in receiving lesson.
Wow, true.
Yeah. And then, Sochi-san, could you tell me and SUGEE people out there what is your research about?
My research, well, it's going to go technical a little bit, but it's
Okay.
aimed towards improvement on cancer treatment and diagnosis technique called photodynamic therapy and diagnosis. It's a technique that uses photochemical reaction of the photosensitizer, irradiation of light, and oxygen. Well, to put it simply, there's a drug that illuminates if you irradiate it with laser, and this drug also accumulates on cancer cell. So if a person who has cancer ingests the drug accumulates on the cancer cell, and irradiation with laser will make the tumor light up like a Christmas tree. So you will see where the cancer is, you will see where the tumor is, so you're able to extract it. And also changing the type of laser you use to irradiate it can also kill the tumor. But the problem is that, well, there are some problems associated with this technique. So my research is to study these problems and try to improve on these problems so that this technique could be more acceptable. Yeah.
If I heard your explanation, it seems that your research is really like super integrated and really large scale. For example, I mean like you should integrate between the technology and then the medicals also and then
Yes.
chemicals.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean like it's really
Well,
large
yes,
scale.
chemistry, there is physics,
Yes.
then there's engineering
Yeah.
in it. But I'm just like, because this technique is already established technique, but it's just that there are some problems here and there with the technique. So what I am studying on is just a very little aspect of that, not really like big. So all I have to do is to see the abnormalities that comes out when you do the cancer treatment or diagnosis. So it's not as difficult as
So this is the photodiagnosis?
photodynamic therapy.
Photodynamic therapy
Yeah.
diagnosis.
Yes.
It's not a new method, but it's already available.
Yeah, it's already available, like most especially in other countries. But you know, Japan accepting new form of medication is very, very difficult. They have to keep testing and testing to eliminate all the possible damage the technique can. So it's not fully accepted in Japan yet. So people are researching a lot to make it more acceptable in Japan, for people to accept it, because it's actually a very nice cancer treatment or diagnosis technique. It reduces the rate of cancer reoccurrence. Like if all the cancer actually lights up like a Christmas tree, you can take out all the cancer, so you wouldn't leave anything behind. So there is no fear of it relapse of the cancer. So yeah, it's a very nice technique.
Is this techniques can be used in another disease except cancers or only cancers?
For now, it's only cancer. Yes,
Okay.
it's cancer.
So, SUGEE people, unluckily, we still cannot do these techniques to find a cure for COVID-19.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I think SUGEE people are really curious about this also.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me. By the way, why you choose that topic? It seems so difficult because you should integrate the engineering side, physics side, chemical sides, and also the medical things, and like you should think in integrated way, and like you cannot think in linear way, and you should think in system and how to connect each other or something like that. And I don't know, but I think it will be difficult. But why you choose
Why?
that topic?
Well, the diagnosis and treatment of cancer is not at all advanced in Nigeria. Cancer diagnosis cancer is diagnosed really late, the tumor is already too big, and the number of hospitals that actually carry out chemotherapy and radiotherapy in Nigeria is almost non-existent. So I've also had family member and like family friend die of cancer, and I always wonder if they were in a better place, probably they wouldn't have died. If they were in maybe Japan or the US, maybe they might have found where to treat it. So I've always had a passion for that cancer treatment, and so when the opportunity presented itself, I chose the topic.
Yeah, it's really beautiful story. I mean, like, cancer has always been a nightmare for not only for us. I mean, like, for everyone who live in this planet actually, because this disease is like, it's not uncurable, but it's cured. It can be cured, but takes time and also high risks for the curement. And if we can find the methods that can find where's the cancerous cells, and we can cure it without damaging any tissues or anything, except the cancer cells itself, it will be really useful in the future.
It would.
So, okay, then let's move to the next topic. Okay, so do you think that Japanese universities are really welcoming the foreign students in their university?
That is a very, very large question. And I can only answer that from what I have experienced, of course.
Okay.
And of course, I cannot say about other universities in general because I wouldn't know what's applicable in them. But what I have experienced is really positive. My university has a lot of international students, so that alone shows that it's a welcoming university. There is a center for international students in my university also. It helps the international students with whatever issue you have, even if it's not related to school. Maybe you had a problem with your neighbor or something, they always listen to the problems you have and advise you on what to do. They also offer Japanese language classes for us, and they have so many levels. Even if you can't say the basic greetings in Japan, there's a class for you. Then if you are sparb in Japanese, you just want to make Japanese friend, there's a class for you. And they also organize bi-weekly mixer for both international students and Japanese students, for us to come and have coffee and discuss, interact. So it's a very good platform for you to make both Japanese friends and international friends. So, and these are the things I know of. Probably there are other things in my university that I don't know.
So they are really welcome, to the foreign
Osaka
students.
University is very welcome.
Osaka University is very welcome.
Foreign students.
So good people, if you want to continue your study in Japan, maybe you can choose Osaka University. No. choose everywhere you want to.
Choose wherever you want to.
Okay, then did you? Okay, I think this question is a little bit similar with the previous question about obstacles. So, did you get any obstacles to get accustomed to Japanese culture or custom? I mean, like, for example, for me as Indonesian, I'm struggling to understand the culture. For example, like, they have business etiquette here in Japan. So, for example, if the Japanese give you the name card, you cannot put that directly on your wallet on your bag. You should put it on the table. Not to be rude. I'm always like, why? What? something like that.
But I think we
That's
are
for me.
forgiven because we are foreigners. We don't know, so they shouldn't hold it against us. Well, I'm in university environment with lots of foreigners, so I really wouldn't have or don't have those technical cultures and customs. So what most foreign students or foreign people would have said, it's language, and like I said, I can communicate in Japanese, so it's not really a problem for me. And food, I eat everything, so it's not a problem for me. And well, I would say I've not encountered an obstacle that
Food, even natto you can eat.
I eat everything.
Oh
Yes,
God,
I can.
seriously?
Yeah. So no cultural
Oh,
problems. No.
That's the only not only thing. I also cannot eat nama tamago. I cannot eat. I don't understand why Japanese people eat raw eggs
raw
with
eggs.
rice, guys. It's really confusing for me.
Well, you have to try it before
No,
you say no. You have
already
to try it before
tried.
you say no.
Already tried.
I think it's in your head. You feel it's raw egg. It's raw egg. No, it will taste horrible.
I tried. My husband is Japanese and he really likes that. And every time I see he eating like that, I always have an urge to make chahan. To make the rice like fried rice.
Yeah.
Like
with the eggs.
Yes, I
Mhm.
can make fried rice using that eggs and rice, something like that. So wow, but Sochi-san doesn't have any obstacle.
No, I don't.
Cool.
For now.
For now, okay. Then next question is: do you have any unique culture shock? Or something.
Culture shock.
Like make you like why, what, or
Why?
strange?
I think,
Strange.
like I said, most of my activities are in the university, so I don't encounter people outside. But this power structure they have, the senpai kohai relationship, it's something I am having difficulty understanding. You know, it's like, even if it's not necessarily a lab, but an office, a factory, even a social club, the first person that joins is the superior to any person that joins later. So you have to accord those people the respect. But I feel it shouldn't be so. Back home, the power structure is more, it's more of age, not who was who first. So I'm really finding it difficult to get accustomed to that. Yeah.
So SUGEE people in Japan, there are culture to respect your superior, and in Japan they have kind of like senpai kohai relationship. Senpai is the senior and kohai is the junior.
Yeah.
So they have that kind of relationship, something like that, and we should respect the superior, or we should respect our senpai first. And I heard from my husband, because I'm always curious why Japanese always stay late in the office, and my husband answered because their senpai is still in office.
Really?
I'm like, why?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And what will they do if you go back earlier, because it's already time. Like
Yeah.
why you should wait for him? Yeah, if I do that, they will give me more assignment the next day because they think I don't have anything to do.
Wow. That's no. That's not acceptable, really. It's
Yes. But
yeah, something like we can't understand. It's
Yeah.
the same as the whole Sangyo culture,
yes,
where
culture.
you have to work extra hours even if you don't have
Yeah.
anything to do. You just have to
yes.
sit and pretend you are
Yeah.
busy just so people think you are working really hard. For me, it's waste of time. You're wasting your time and you're not being productive, and you will go home really tired, and the next day you have to still wake up really early and go to work. So that's another culture. But this is something I heard from people. I've never actually worked in an office or something, so I really don't know what.
Yeah, that's that's also the things that makes me a kind of little bit shocked is they prefer that kind things you say Zhangyo in office compared to the efficiency of the workers itself. While the company actually needs the efficiency of the workers, not the time they are spending in office, but the quality of work and the efficiency of the time, also the effectiveness of the task as well. So I think in this section or in this area, Japan should improve. Yeah. Okay, and then last question, Sochi-san. On a scale 1 to 10, what scale you recommend SUGEE people to continue their study and do research project in Japan?
I do not think it's fair for me to put a number on this scale because I may be biased, from my perspective, since I have the privilege of knowing a little bit more about Japan. I can speak Japanese. I am comfortable in Japanese. I eat every food. So, and I also have this plus or added advantage of the living environment. It's completely better than what is in Nigeria. So I'm really comfortable here. So if it's for me, I think I'd rather not put a number on the scale. But all the same, if you really want to study in Japan, I believe it's a very, very good opportunity for you too. So don't think too much. Take a leap of faith. Come. When you come, you will not regret it, I'm sure.
SUGEE people, you already hear what Sochi-san say. So if you have any interest or even you have a dream to continue your study in Japan, just come. Don't think too much.
Just come. And SUGEE is here to help you.
Yeah. And then I will recite the conclusion of the today podcast. So the conclusion is, SUGEE people, if you want to continue your study on your research project in Japan, you are very welcome. And then the Japanese society is gradually changes and they don't too conservative as you think. I mean, like, just come and we have some kind of experience being foreigners in Japan, and they some kids or like seeing us like a strange or something like that, but that's okay. They are just curious. Yeah, that's not a negative things, I think. So for SUGEE people who want to come to Japan, and just come. And then if you guys want to get the scholarship, you can find out on the internet. Just find out about the Momogakushan scholarship, or you can check on your Japanese embassy in your countries. And then the environment of research and the equipment is really complete and really advanced in Japan. So
very advanced.
Yeah, so you can just use these opportunities to learn more. And if you really want to continue your study, just come. Okay, SUGEE people, that's all for today's episode of SUGEE Podcast. Thanks for listening, and thank you to Sochi.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
For joining me today, for sharing her research in Japan. Join us again next week because we will have another inspiring guest. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, so you never miss an episode. If you are interested in what we do, you can stop by our website at sugee.gp, SUGEE.gp. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to SUGEE Podcast. Subscribe our channel and turn on notifications. We provide services for businessmen and professionals who work intensai. Arigatou gozaimasu.